So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I use the law of attraction and also the law of assumption to get disgustingly rich and make millions of dollars at only 23 years old. Now, this is going to be a very raw, realistic video and just give you guys a bit of a reality check of actually how to use this specific method. Now, I've honestly been using this method for around 8 years now, and every single person I've put this on, they've instantly made more money. They've instantly, closed more clients. They've instantly, met their dream girl or, started to hit all their achievements they've actually wanted to. Now, I have really only given this to only specific few people, but honestly, today I decided to just say, I'm just going to give back to you guys and actually release the method. Now, there's actually going to be a few different topics on this, and it might get a bit complicated sometimes, but it's very, very worth it to actually understand. Now, there's going to be about 3 topics. Now, the first topic is called the gateway experience. Now, the CIA did a ton of research on this back in the day, and they actually realized that we literally live in a hologram, which might seem kind of weird, but reality is actually a hologram. So what this actually means is, if you could temporarily visualize and kind of embody a specific state of you hitting your goals or you, doing whatever you actually want as your ideal goal, an ideal dream outcome, and you have a specific brainwave state, aka theta state, and you have extremely heightened emotions, and you're almost have like this floating feeling of this specific meditation, which I'll go into later on in this video. Essentially, reality will actually warp to match that specific envision that you previously did. Now, this will be extremely weird, random case scenarios which will actually come into your life. For example, there was a specific motorcyclist who is actually using this specific method to get a ton of girls. And you guys have to be careful with this, because what happened is he was getting absolutely 0 girls through single for little years before he did this method, and he started to do it. And he kept on meeting a ton of new girls, racking up all of his body count and all that stuff, and meeting a ton of new girlfriends. And anyways, there was this one specific girl, and he actually they started to date, but how they originally met is they actually got into a car crash, right? So you guys have to be very careful with this method and not do it for extremely aggressive things, because this stuff is so powerful that he was obviously fine. He was completely untouched, right? But what I'm trying to say is you need to be very aware. So when you're actually doing this method, be very safe. And, you need to actually think of the real consequences, because, for example, if you're trying to spawn $10 million out of nowhere, like your parents might die and then you get their will or whatever it is. Like, you need to be very careful with this, because like it can backfire, right? I've never seen it backfire with any single person I've actually given it to. But what I'm trying to say is you need to be really careful with that. Now, how to actually use this method. So there's a specific set of tapes inside the Gateway Experience, which was actually created by the Monroe Institute. Like I said, the CIA did a ton of research on it, and essentially what you need to do is you need to reach this specific stage called 1 month patterning. Now, you guys will actually reach a specific state of meditation in this, and this might seem all woo-woo and crazy stuff, but literally the CIA did a ton of research on this. It's all like fully backed up. You guys can literally Google this right now in a new tab. But keep watching this video, because I'm actually going to show you how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to get into this state called Focus 10. And I actually recently gave this specific meditation to a ton of my, to my sales reps, and their closing rate was twice as high compared to any single person on the team who didn't do this specific meditation, right? And now the whole team is doing it. Now we're literally double the close rate for everyone. Now this might seem like crazy and it's not real, but it's actually how it works. So what you need to do is you need to get into this thing called Focus 10, and this person will actually guide you on how to do it. And when you get into Focus 10, you're going to have a feeling of floating, right? A feeling of kind of like almost like spinning as well. It's a very like weird sensation, but I've had people actually put up some screenshots, say they, met Mother Nature. They have, seen these, crazy colors and feel these, really cool things. Now, this is all safe, obviously. I've done this for literally over 8 years, so you guys are totally fine. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to feel very good. You're going to feel super energetic. And this is all with your eyes closed in a dark room meditation. And you're going to feel like almost like you're floating, right? And in this specific moment is when you're actually going to want to actually visualize your specific dream outcome, right? If this is, you hitting 10K per month in your business, or you meeting a specific person, or whatever it is, any single time I've actually done this, it's always happened literally pretty much within like a week. Obviously, me hitting like $10 million a month in business, that's, you can't really do that. Probably possible, but it has to be decently realistic, right? So you could obviously set your goals to be super unrealistic, but at the same time, you do want to, not have insanely high expectations, right? I would probably like double or triple what you're actually thinking you actually want to get, because this thing will essentially spawn money out of nowhere, right? Or spawn a girlfriend out of nowhere, or whatever it is, right? I've even given this to clients and they haven't, literally they haven't even, spoken to, or they haven't like had clients reach out to them in so long, or they haven't signed clients in like months, and then out of nowhere, like 3 clients will just reach out to them instantly, like pretty much out of nowhere, literally the next day, and they'll just like pay them essentially. So this might seem like all some crazy stuff, but it generally does work. Now, the whole premise of this is based off the theory that the universe is a hologram, right? And essentially, like I said, as long as you could specifically visualize yourself in a specific state, aka another reality, and also for some context as well, there are parallel universes. So this is going to get a bit, intense potentially for some people, but essentially quantum physics actually shows that there's essentially an infinite number of parallel universes, because atoms actually behave differently when they're, being watched versus not watched. And there's a ton of other reasons behind why all these parallel universes actually exist. But essentially what this actually means is there's a version of you who is making $10 million a month. There's also a version of you which is homeless. There's also a version of you which is maybe even whatever it is, like in a different job or in a different city or dating a different girlfriend, whatever it is. And any single moment where a specific split variation of reality will happen, which will actually get you to that specific path, essentially happens, right? So this might seem like all super complicated stuff, but I'll kind of explain exactly how it works now. Now, like I said, there's another version of you which is making $1 million a month or even homeless or whatever it is. And you could essentially visualize those specific states, and actually the universe will pretty much just quantum leap you into those specific states. So that's kind of how it works. Now, that's like the main thing of exactly how this whole method works. And that's essentially the gateway experience. Now, there are obviously tons of other methods to actually do this. Another one is called Neville Goddard. So Neville Goddard's SATS technique is a specific method, and you kind of have to visualize yourself pretty similar to the actual gateway experience. You have to kind of like visualize yourself in these specific, dream states, and really just envision, feel the emotion, see the actual colors, even smell the specific scene you're actually at, and really just try to convince your mind that you're actually living that right now, exactly as you would to do in the specific gateway meditation experience. And the next morning, there's just gonna be random things that will come into your life, right? Whenever I've done this, I have just had random people, message me or connect me to a specific person, which I end up making a ton of money off of, or just random things will just come into my life, which seem just like pure luck, but it's actually just the universe bending to my will, because I know how the universe works. I know the laws of the universe. This is exactly how it works. Now, there's going to be a ton of other, kind of like theories and stuff like that, which I'll go into now. But essentially, the universe is a mirror, right? This is actually one of the, principles of reality transurfing, which is just another book which I've heavily endorsed, and also Iman Ghazi has heavily endorsed over the past years. Now, reality is a mirror. So what this actually means is if you guys are feeling super sad all the time, and you're feeling, really nervous and really just anxious all the time, reality is a mirror. So what's going to happen is your reality will reflect your inner state, and it's just going to attract new experiences and people into your life, which are going to confirm what you're currently feeling. And then that's going to hit you, and then you're going to feel even worse. And because you feel worse, then you're going to attract even worse things into your life, right? But you could also use this on the good end, right? You could feel amazing, super abundant all the time. And the more abundant you feel, the more things are just going to randomly come into your life, which is going to make you feel even more abundant, because you make a ton more money, or you meet a ton more girls, or whatever it is, right? And the reality is a mirror, right? So that's kind of one of the main principles as well, which I would heavily, look into too. I think you guys absolutely need to read the book of Reality Transurfing. That is an insanely good book, and it will really teach you, how to actually live life and kind of navigate through life and what all this stuff is, right? I've been using this stuff for the past 8 years, specifically more intentionally for the past 4 years. And that's exactly as I dropped out of university. And now we've made multi-millions of dollars online, and we do, pretty well for ourselves at only 23 years old. And there's another version of you which doesn't actually do these things, right? There's another version of you which just watches the video, doesn't actually take any action, and still stays in their current situation, right? But there's also another version of you which does take action on this, and just putting the light on here. But yeah, there's also another version of you which actually does take action and actually does use this and actually implement it. Now, I'll probably just put like a link in the description for like the Drive, Google Drive thing, or any sort of like download thing to actually use the meditation tapes. But any single person I'm actually giving this to, literally their life has completely changed. Now I've been using this for like I said, literally years, and it is so powerful. Now, the CIA also did a ton of other, research on this as well, with like remote viewing and essentially using this to, see other rooms and other parts of the world during wars, and they would essentially get information to give to the governments. It's honestly, I'm really not going to ramble on in this at all anymore about that, but very interesting stuff to actually look into. But you guys also have to realize that your beliefs create your reality, right? If you have a ton of, programs and beliefs around, money is evil, money is bad, it's so hard to track money, it's very scarce. Obviously, you're not going to get fucking rich. Like, what are you guys thinking of? That's obviously just like, you're not going to be able to make it, right? So first step is to actually become self-aware of your current beliefs, right? All your beliefs are going to be coming in from your parents, right? Or your friends, or the people who actually surround yourself with in your, high school or wherever you guys are at. Now, what's going to happen is these beliefs are going to shape your reality, right? So whenever you see, opportunity to make money, you're going to think, oh no, that has to be a scam because money's not that easy to come by, right? Or just naturally, your mind is going to attract opportunities, or not going to attract opportunities in life, which will make you more money, right? It's going to be harder to sign clients when you do cold calls. It's going to be harder to sign clients when you do cold email, right? Even when you do cold calls, you're going to feel some sort of guilt in your voice saying like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I really shouldn't sell this guy on it. Even though you're probably going to deliver amazing service delivery, let's just say you're pitching Facebook ads to real estate agents, right? If you have some sort of thing like, oh, I have no confidence, this is not going to work, like the person is subconsciously going to sense that, and they're just not going to buy from you, right? Compared to you having the beliefs of, money is amazing, money is abundant, I make so much money, money always comes to me super freely, super easily, I sign clients so easily. That is going to allow you to scale way more faster in your business and just in life in general, right? If you have all these subconscious blocks, you're simply not going to get rich. So like I said, the first step is to actually identify these specific beliefs, right? Now, the second step is to try to reprogram them every single day and just become more aware of them and just get rid of the old ones, right? Because once you start reprogramming your mind to actually, have these new crazy beliefs, you're going to just start magically appearing things into your life out of complete nowhere. And it's honestly really crazy. So I would definitely do that if I were you guys, because that is like a super high priority thing. And the third step is to just enjoy the abundance that's going to come into your life. Now, number one most important thing is just to, really just understand your beliefs in the first place. So what I want you guys to do is write down a piece of paper where you're currently at, and then what your specific goal is. Let's just say you're at $0 per month right now and you want to hit 10K a month online. I want you guys to say, okay, what's really bad things that's going to happen on the way, or what's like the worst case scenario, or does it feel safe, or does it feel comfortable for me to be at 10K per month? And if you have any sort of hesitation in your voice that says, yes, I feel comfortable, I feel safe at 10K per month, you're just not going to get there, because there's going to be specific subconscious blocks that are actually not going to allow you to get there in the first place, right? If you said, okay, if I teleport to 10K a month right now, like what's like the worst thing that's actually going to happen? There's probably going to be some weird subconscious things like, oh, I don't know how to fulfill on the service. I feel like I'm going to be scamming people. I don't know how to pay the taxes, or whatever it is. You just need to write down all these things and then just break these things down to the core and get rid of them, inform yourself of them, become consciously aware of them, learn about it, and that's actually going to allow you to scale way faster, right? And there's a ton of other things you guys will need to hit 10K a month online, like do enough volume, having the right mentor, networking, be in the right rooms, all that stuff, and do enough volume, have enough confidence, understanding sales, negotiation, all that stuff, right? There's a ton of other stuff to do with it, but that's kind of the general, premise of this video. And I've given this, these specific gateway tapes to a ton of people, and every single time they have, really, just change their life for the better. And I really want to, give back to you guys. You don't have to pay me anything. You don't have to pay me a single dollar. I'm not even selling anything on any of my videos anymore. And if you guys want this, it's actually completely free. It's literally included in our free community. So just literally click on that. All you guys have to do is just get the AI tools to actually sell local businesses. What I'll also do is just drop a Google Drive link as well, so you guys get it for free as well, without having to do anything. So you guys could just start listening to it tonight. So that's that. And also on top of this, if you guys do want to start, selling AI to local businesses and get extremely, I'm not going to say rich, but just get some good cash flow coming in and really just, start making your first 10K, 20K, 30K a month online and actually, take advantage of this. You don't have to pay me a single dollar. I'm just going to give back. You don't have to pay me a single dollar. I'm literally giving away everything for completely free. So just click on link, opt in. We're going to give you access to everything. You just need to get the AI tools to sell local businesses, and I'll see you guys on the inside. So I love you guys so much. And I'm actually in Bella right now, going off to Dubai in a few days, and then South of France after that. So I honestly haven't posted on YouTube for so long, but I'm actually really happy. I'm glad. And I'm back to doing more videos. So anyways, love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Eric Campbellers signing out.